It's canon. This type of stuff is indeed canon now. They went through the back door. They said, we'll start at the ground level. We're gonna make all these new characters that we say are acclaimed, that we say these are the best characters ever written, the best storylines that have been written ever. We're gonna tell you that it's the best shit ever. But really, most people do not like some of these new characters, okay? It's just a fact. That's why the comics industry is falling apart at the seams. Not only that, the variant issues, all this stuff, partially, probably more so that, was detrimental to the future of comics, you know, 10, 20 years ago. But this idea of just pushing down new characters and saying, guys, they're now canon. You can't be like, it wasn't like this in the comics, because that was really what was going on in the early 2000s when comic book movies were being made. People were saying, that's not how it was in the comics. So they decided, we're going to do it this way. We're going to do it so we make sure it's real in the comics. So that argument is gone forever. And while I can't really hate it, you played the game, you did the job, you did the dirty work. So I can't really say anything else to it other than I hope this show is better than the comic. Hey, NarendraTheComic here. Right now, we're just going to be reacting to this Sizzle reel. Yes, sizzly, spice. Maybe spice. Probably not spice. Maybe very, very average. Maybe better than I think, but you never know, for a trailer for Miss Marvel. Now, if you don't know Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, she is basically an Inhuman. She might be the way they bring Inhumans into the MCU, because they've been there through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Inhumans, and that show was awful. It wasn't good, but I think it got a worse rap than it actually was. It was not good. It was like a 3, 4 out of 10, but people were saying it's a 1 out of 10. Boys, I've seen 1 out of 10s. I've seen 0 out of 10s. It was not a 0 out of 10. Come on, it wasn't a 1 out of 10. It wasn't a 2 out of 10. It wasn't good though. We have to be fair with it. It definitely wasn't good. So maybe this is the way they bring the Inhumans into the MCU. Not sure exactly what they're going to do visually with her powers, because we saw how Mr. Fantastic was done in the Fantastic Four films, and it wasn't very good. Plus, the fact we're basically being shown a similar power set to Mr. Fantastic before the Fantastic Four in the MCU is just going to take shine off of that entire story and him as a character, and him being probably one of the most important characters going forward in the MCU, probably played by John Krasinski. I know, people have been saying it. I like it. I like that one. So let's get to this trailer. Sizzle, reel, whatever you want to call it. Let's get to it. Let's go.
Miss Marvel is a new kind of superhero, but at the core
Not
of all
really.
of it, her story is so universal.
Miss Marvel
She's not
is
really
one
a
of the
new
newer
kind of
characters
superhero. Come on.
in the Marvel comics. And when one comes in that grabs the world's imagination like this, the questions are, when are we going to bring Miss Marvel to the screen?
We'll just
when Miss Marvel
expedite
first
it.
came out, we had such an incredible reaction.
It was so incredibly popular because everybody could see themselves in her.
I never saw a young teenager of color, specifically a Pakistani, in a comic book. Are you kidding?
You promised you'd be cool.
I am cool.
The casting process
that was
was
funny.
vast. When we discovered Iman, we knew that she was
All right, that was a
Kamala Khan.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I can't comprehend this right now.
And then, of course, we've got a really incredible team of directors. Bilal Fallah, Adel Al-Arabi, Mira Menon, and Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. And all of them are taking the material and elevating it.
So human. It's about a teenager figuring out who she is and about relationships. Family and friendship is at the heart of the MCU canon. That's what's so exciting about the story
was
that
a
we're
weird
bringing,
one.
is that we're going to introduce you to a new family
All right.
that's also going to be part of the wider MCU.
Wow, that was quick. I mean, it was only a minute long. You know, they say the thing of a character that really takes the world by storm. And yes, a character can take the world by storm. There are right ways to do it and there are wrong ways to do it. I think Miles Morales has been bled into the universe so much now that he is widely accepted as everyone's, like, second favorite, to some people, their favorite Spider-Man. And that's absolutely fine because he's had the time, he's been around for quite a long time now, and he has been built into the overall Marvel universe very, very well. He's had a couple of good runs, and I get that. Then there's something like this, which came out of nowhere, and people are saying it's so successful when it's not really that successful. Yes, it made great headlines for a week, for a month, for a year maybe, but they've had so many #1 issue 1s of this comic book because they can never get a series to stick. Because generally, it's not about saying she's such a unique character. A lot of these characters are just reinterpretations of other characters from the past, and just because she has, to say it plainly, brown skin, doesn't just make her unique and amazing just because of that. Female Thor. Like, man, female Thor is not... The initial storyline for that could have been really good. It ended up being a bit flat. But it's just like they're trying to do these things and change the law, and that's fine. You need to do new things. You need to try new things. But the fact these things have been around for like less than 5 years, less than 6 years, and now we're going to make full TV and films out of them, it kind of feels a bit sleazy when you have Thor, who is still a super big part of the MCU, one of the most integral characters, one of the original characters, one of the biggest superheroes of all time, and I think there's a good chance, because they're bringing in the God Killer in Thor Love and Thunder, I think there's a good chance Thor might die at the beginning of the film and Jane Foster takes up the hammer. I don't want that to happen, but as soon as I saw the God Killer being thrown up as the villain, my mind went straight there, and I do not want that to happen. While I'm saying that, this could be good. This could be a good TV show. It could be significantly and markedly better than the comics. And I really, really do hope so, because if it's bad, it's going to get lambasted left, right, and center. It will be, and then people will say, oh, it's this and this and this. And if you don't like the show, then you have problems with yourself. Stop it, all right? I think the She-Hulk show can be quite good. I've been told it's a comedy now, and I'm not really loving that. But this show has the potential, has the chance to change everyone's mind on this character. A lot of people's minds. Because some people do like the character. I don't. I don't like the character. I don't think she's had any particularly amazing runs. I've stopped reading Marvel comics, you know? I mean, the good stuff from back in the day was amazing, but nowadays it's just fucking trash. DC Comics are okay in some ways, but even then, it's like I go to independent sources now to find the good, because it's just... It's sad. It's sad seeing the state of comics. They're trying to do anything to kind of build up hype, and if they can get an instant success that will be successful for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, they'll just do it. And that's, I think, what they did with this character, because she could have been an incredible character, just like every character has the potential to be if you set the foundations right. And they just haven't done it. They haven't done it. So maybe this show is the saving grace, and this girl looks like she has something about her. So that's definitely a good thing. The thing I don't like is, obviously, they announced Riri Williams as well. Don't get me started on Riri Williams, alright? Yeah. Just after Tony's dead, you're going to do a Riri Williams show. And especially now, because there's been even less time in terms of the MCU, because we've not had any films or TV shows for a whole year now because of the way the world's been. It feels like Tony just died last week or last year, but it's been 2 years really by the time all these shows start coming out. So I think that's not a good play. I don't think it's a good idea in this moment in time. Give it 3, 4, 5 years, but even then, I guess. Riri Williams kind of makes sense, because Iron Man is like the biggest hero in that universe. Like, in that world on Earth, Iron Man is the guy. He saved the world. He's done noble acts while also being a dickhead. I understand why you'd look up to him. That might be the reason she went into tech and went into engineering, and that's something really, really cool. But with the Kamala Khan situation with Carol Danvers and Miss Marvel, and Captain Marvel, sorry, got it wrong there. Captain Marvel, we've not seen anything of her really at all in the MCU. We got a very bare-boned, stale first entry to her story, and it didn't really tell you anything about the character. You didn't get to know her at all. Then we see her in Endgame for like 5 minutes of screen time, and we don't understand what's really been going on, what she's been doing, who she is as a person. So we get this show before we get Captain Marvel 2, and we're being told that Captain Marvel's the best thing ever. Again, we're being told it. We're not seeing it. We're being told she's the best. These characters, these kids love Captain Marvel. We've not seen this. I would understand the Riri Williams one. I get it. I get the Riri Williams. I think the timescale's too small, but I get it. This, with the Captain Marvel love, I don't. I just don't understand how you can pass that on to the watcher, because I don't think it really works tangibly, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then Captain Marvel herself, not Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel herself will come after you. You don't want that. She'll zap you. She'll squeeze your hand, electrocute you if you say some mean things to her. You don't want that. No, especially if you're a bloke. I'm joking. You don't want that anyway, even if you're a woman. Or if you're a woman, a bloke, whatever you want, don't want it. So just subscribe anyway to avoid that. I've been NarendraTheComic. You've been Graham. We'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. If you don't know, make a video every single day. You've been doing it every day for over 2 years now. We ain't stopping till we get to 10,000 subscribers. So do subscribe. Pop back again tomorrow for some more quality shitty content, because we're #NeverNotHere. We also bring the bakwas, and if you don't know, bakwas means nonsense in Punjabi, but I'm sure you already knew that. We bring the nonsense every day. It's what we do. It's our job. It's our MO. See you tomorrow. More nonsense. More bakwas. Then. Skadoosh.